Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy, and I help the helpers, the healers, and the light bringers of this world to live their most magical life. We're going to be talking about this week's energy, so how we can best get through this energy, how we can best navigate this energy to make the best of what we have going on this week. And it's a powerful week and month, and there's a lot that's happening, right? A lot of transformation that's happening. I talked last week, a lot of the energy from last week really applies still here. Hi Joy, nice to see you on here. A lot of the energy still applies to this week. So if you didn't catch the last week's weekly reading, make sure you catch that, because all of those messages I feel like are carrying over, and definitely a lot of important messages there. But we're going to talk about this week and what we have going on. Lots of transformation that's happening now that we are in this eclipse portal. We are in between the two eclipses. Lots of transformation, lots of adjustments that are happening from the universe, from God, whatever you call that are helping to put us where we're supposed to be, right? But I find that that's not always the easiest. Hi, Miriam. Nice to see you on here. That's not always the easiest. That's not always, especially during Taurus season, I find like we tend to want to keep things safe and stable, and we don't love change, right? And so I feel like the collective energy is a little bit like we might be fighting against these changes that are wanting to happen, that are wanting to develop in our lives. But this is such an important time, and we are not going to be the same on the other side of this eclipse portal as when we started. Definitely, over this 2 weeks, but I definitely think also like we're just going to see this energy playing out over the next 6 months or so. But I also think during this 2-week period, it's very much a transformational energy, and I think that we're going to see a lot of changes. So the most important thing that we can do right now is to flow with it, is to let it unfold. To really be open to the idea that maybe our Taurus energy, right? We want to be stubborn. Our stubborn view of the way that things need to be, or the way that things need to develop, or the things that we want to manifest, that we need to be open to the possibility that things could be better than we could ever possibly imagine. And I've talked about this recently, but it's a really important message that sometimes we can actually block ourselves from the blessings that are wanting to come in because we're so focused on a specific outcome and it needing to happen a specific way. I want that specific job. I want that specific relationship. I want things to happen this specific way. And I'm not saying I'm a huge believer in setting intentions and putting out to the universe exactly what you want. So don't get me wrong with that, but I really subscribe to the whole concept of setting it and forgetting it as best we can, right? So setting the intentions, but also leaving room for God to create miracles, for God to create something better than we could have ever possibly imagined. But I'll keep it real with you guys. I don't think that over this period we're necessarily going to recognize like, wow, this is for my highest and best good. This is exactly what I need it to be. I think it's going to feel pretty uncomfortable. I think it's going to feel like, oh my gosh, like maybe I have to start accepting that that's not going to happen exactly the way that I want. And that doesn't feel good, right? But if we can, again, take a step back, trust in God, trust in our higher power, that we are being led to something so much better, I think that there's going to be a lot of peace that we connect with that. I think if you really connect with that idea, you will connect with the peace that is aligned with the truth in that. Okay, so really allow for that. Again, like I said, not a time to be stubborn. Not a time to be stubborn at all. Not a time to be trying to hold on to anything with a tight grip, or to be digging our heels in when we are working against the flow, because that is only going to create more stress, more strain, and slow down the energy for us. And speaking of energy slowing down, we are now, Pluto has now gone retrograde. So you may find that you are feeling a little bit slower, although I think when Mercury goes retrograde next week, that on the 10th, that's where we're really going to feel like things are slowing down quite a bit. But this month to me is very much a slow and steady energy, and I think that's like the goal, is to be slow and steady, to let it continue to unfold, to let ourselves continue to flow with all of this. Your comfort zone is not going to serve you this week, this month, right? So we really want to be doing those things that are breaking us out of our comfort zone. If it scares you a little bit, but in an exciting way, that's probably the direction to lead, even if you're like, I don't know, like if this is what if this is what I should do. But a lot of times our soul is leading us in the direction of growth, of moving out of our comfort zone so that we can level up. So, I even pulled the level up card, right? We don't level up from staying stuck in our comfort zone. This is about allowing change, allowing ourselves to be guided, and allowing ourselves in that guidance to pay attention to what we are being guided to do, right? We don't just get to like sit there and it's all going to show up for us. We also have to take action, right? This is about co-creation. And so, yes, you may find yourself slowing down a little bit and feeling more tired with these retrogrades, but also when you do feel called to take action, it's really important that we are taking actions as we're being shown, as we're being inspired to. I think that's really, really key. I also feel like right now, while I think that we're going to be connecting with a lot of clarity over the next month or so, that it's also okay to not have all of the answers right now. It's also okay if we can find some kind of peace with not having all the answers, with not knowing the big picture, with not knowing exactly where some of these things are going, and we can just let ourselves kind of, again, flow with it and be carried along with this current that is wanting to move us to where we want to be. I think it's going to get us exactly where we are supposed to be, and so it's really important that we are allowing ourselves to not have all the answers. That things are kind of just unfolding as they're supposed to. We are still in this energy of unchaining ourselves, of untethering ourselves to those things that just aren't supporting our freedom, aren't supporting our best life, aren't supporting the direction that we want to go. And I think this week there may be some awareness and some insights as to like, wow, that really wasn't working for me. But I was so caught up, I was so stubborn in my vision of it had to be this exact way that I wasn't ready to let it go. But I think this week is going to really just help to further unhook us, untether us, disconnect us from those things that just aren't aligning for us anymore. We also pulled the Leap card. Okay, so the Leap card to me here today is really feeling like I saw the image of this person who's jumping, right? I saw them jumping into the water, jumping into the flow, letting themselves be carried along with the current, like I was just saying. So leaping into the unknown, leaping into the changes that are wanting to come in. If something wants to go from your life, let go. If you're feeling called to move in a direction, move. This is really, really important right now. Now, we pulled the Justice card in reverse. And this is a tough energy, right? But something not feeling fair. But when I pulled this card, the first thing that I heard was, let me make sure that I want to get it exactly right. It said, I heard, if it's not fair, let it be unfair. So, like that might piss some people off. I don't know. But like, really think about that. Absolutely. If something has been handled unfairly, okay. And that's hard to, it's hard to process. It's hard. We can have the emotions around that, and it's okay for you to feel your emotions around that. But at the end of the day, karma always takes care of it. This keeps coming up in these readings, right? So I think that lots of people maybe are needing to hear this with this Wheel of Fortune, right? Karma takes care of it. The Wheel of Fortune is the most karmic card in the deck. and karma will take care of it. You don't need to, and you continuing to be, that's something to be tethered to, right? Something that you haven't forgiven, something that you haven't let go of, something that hasn't worked out the way that you wanted it to. But you know what? It probably worked out the way that it was supposed to. And maybe we don't see that now. We might not have a clarity on why something happened the way that it did, but if we can lean in to God, if we can lean into our higher power and trust that things are happening for us, I really think that bigger picture, long term, number one, justice will be served, but number two, that it's all working out exactly as it's supposed to. How many times do we have something happen for us that feels really unfair, that feels really unjust, but it led us exactly where we are supposed to be? It led us in the direction of something better, of something that we're supposed to be connecting to. And had we stayed still, had we not moved, had we not allowed it to push us in a new direction, it would have never unfolded. It would have never happened. But there's a level of trust required here in this energy, right? Wheel of Fortune, luck changing in our favor, right? Karma taking care of whatever it needs to take care of. So if you've been out there doing good things, being kind to people, doing your absolute best, understand that that is the energy that you're going to get back. And I really feel like we're going to get a lot of that this week, where we're going to see a lot of that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm saying we need to flow. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of challenging energy, but I want you to understand that there's so much magic in the mix of all of this. This is a transformation that is taking us, again, exactly where we're supposed to be. And I feel like there's so much that is happening for us right now. And I think like as much as like there's a slowdown in some of this energy, there's also rapid transformation that is happening for us. And I really feel like that's what this Wheel of Fortune is. Like the wheel turns and we see amazing things happening pretty quickly, right? Like I feel like there's instant manifestations happening. I feel like there's instant shifts in energy for the positive in a lot of ways. So again, we really want to just flow with it and trust it, because it'll take us exactly where we're supposed to go more quickly. The next card, speaking of quick, 8 of Wands, right? Lots of rapid moving energy. The things that are wanting to come our way will come our way. So I just feel like this is opportunity. This is some things that we've been waiting on. And I do feel like, again, this will require flow before this can come in, right? This will require us to be open to things happening in a different way than maybe we expected them to, but it really feels like to me across the board, this is in a better way. The next card, 8 of Cups. Being willing to walk away from things that we know to the depths of our soul aren't working for us anymore, aren't serving us, aren't meeting our standards, aren't honoring our boundaries, aren't providing us with the depth that we're looking for in our lives, aren't honoring who we are as human beings, whatever that is for you. But I think that you'll know. I think that this eclipse is really going to be showing, this period of time is really going to be showing you what belongs in your life and what doesn't, and where do you need to make some changes, right? And that requires faith. Again, like notice he's turning his back on these cups and he's just being guided by the light of the moon, right? He doesn't know that 9th cup, that wish fulfillment, is on the other side of those mountains, but he knows with his soul, right? He doesn't know it logically, but he knows with his soul. He knows with his faith, and so his faith is guiding him there. And that is what's required of us right now. And we have to keep moving, right? Chariot card, moving on, moving forward, allowing the flow of the river to carry our forward movement, right? The Chariot is about letting go of the reins too, and letting, God take the wheel. It's about understanding that when we can do that, that we will be guided exactly where we're supposed to go. That's totally the energy of this week, completely. Last card, and this is a tough one, but it's important, the Tower card. The Tower is coming in during this period to set us free from what we need to be set free from, to bring us on to our best life path, to help support us. And I don't necessarily even see this as a bad thing. I see this as showing us where things haven't been built on a solid foundation, showing us where we have been chained, stuck, holding ourselves back, too comfortable to the things that just don't belong anymore. And I really feel like we're being shown. So it might be emotional, it might be hard, it might be scary, but we're being led to exactly where we're supposed to be. So if we can flow with it, it's going to carry us exactly where we need to be. All right, guys, so those are your messages for this week. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If this resonates with you, make sure you hit that like button. I always appreciate that. I always love to hear from you in comments below. And if you're watching this replay on my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that like button also, or that subscribe button also. That helps my videos to get to the people that it needs to get to. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care.